190, we took care of that. Will and I met with the Department of Justice the second time today. So that one actually came from the Attorney General. Attorney General was after three things: smokeless.
That's the flavors bill.
No, 190 is the
Internet sales.
Sorry, you're right. Internet.
So they were saying no internet sales on flavored tobacco, the flavored cigarettes, and vaping, and we're kind of getting wrapped in with tobacco down there quite a bit.
A lot of groups that are trying to take up a cause, and right now vaping looks like it's the one, now that tobacco's on the decline. So we're getting hit from two sides. It's revenue. The number one thing would be revenue. Nationwide, it's revenue. They're losing taxes from the drop in sales in tobacco. They've got to pull it from somewhere. They're not going to cut back their spending, so they got to turn to the alternative that's replacing tobacco, which is vaping.
Is that fair?
No, it's not fair, because I don't think that we're on the same ballpark. We're not in the same game. We're here to save lives. The whole purpose of the sin tax originally was to get people off of tobacco. That becomes successful, and we finally have some system in place that's actually making that system of getting people off tobacco successful. And now they're trying to penalize us for it. The other half of it is actually not about revenue. It is really down to that mothering in the government, where they truly believe they're out to save lives against something they don't actually understand themselves.
So we got an amendment in there that said, basically take vaping out, go after tobacco, smokeless tobacco, and cigarettes. Department of Justice came and testified. Everybody from NWVA came and testified. And that's another huge win for us, because we put a lot of pressure when we go down there in droves. And we have a coordinated testimony. We put a lot of pressure on there, and they want to they want a consensus and work with us when there's so much pressure against the bill.
Yeah, that was frightening, because we really don't know. We don't know how it's going to impact us. If it gets enforced where we can't have vapor in the vape shops, I don't know how that's going to impact us, and we're trying to predict it, and we don't know how that's going to affect things. And if the taxation goes through, oh man, that could be devastating. That's going to push people in a different direction. The flavor ban is, of course, another one that I don't really truly believe one of those will go through. But if it did, it would be the most absurd and devastating thing that could ever happen to us. Yeah, there's some fear in there.
What they did was put so much pressure on them that they actually did an amendment. I didn't do it. They did this one that said we're taking vaping out. We're just going after smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. And they voted that in. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It was yesterday. All my days kind of run together. So they voted that in yesterday, the amendment, and that went unanimous. So we don't have to worry about 415, and that was our biggest worry to that point, because that was a real threat.
That's what I want them to answer that question.
Oh yeah, and
They would be trying to tax the gun because
if it took away tobacco revenue, most certainly.
Yeah. So
Vince will say that to your face.
yeah. So that means that's what I want to hear them say on a stand.
It's his job. It's his job to protect the revenue stream of Oregon, create new ones, and protect the revenue.
Well, you take out jobs and you're looking at less revenue.
Why can big tobacco? Everybody hates tobacco. Everybody loves to hate tobacco and cigarettes. Why do they get some of the things done they get done? Why
Because
did
they have
415
a lot of
done?
money.
Well,
They create
because
revenue through taxes.
They create revenue through taxes.
Why don't we implement a straw tax because you can do cocaine in it?
Don't give them that idea.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, when does our freedoms get
Blaming you
lost over and
guys
over
for stealing tax revenue from tobacco. And you guys are. You are taking tobacco money out of this state.
Right, exactly.
And they're blaming you for it.
Good.
Forget that you're saving lives. Forget that you're doing all that. You are costing tobacco money.
Well,
From flavoring, will allow them to do flavoring, and then takes the tobacco. And I know that Jim Gardner and a number of people came and let us know the financial revenue impact that this will have by taking those off, out of circulation, so to speak. So we are going to be sending it to revenue. Does anyone? We're sending this bill 415 to revenue because it does have a substantial revenue impact. Well, if you look at the figures that we got, do you have the revenue in front of you? There was a number of emails, particularly from a number of people. Let me get the right bill out here. That's right, but I have been asked by people to send it to revenue. The general fund could face a loss of over 31 million annually, or 62 million for the biennium. The Oregon Health Plan would lose nearly 26 million in the 2015-17 biennium.
Even if the revenue projections are true, I still would strongly support the passage of this bill, because I think we have to put our kids' long-term health and the long-term economic well-being of the state ahead of current revenues. And I know that even if it's a big fiscal hit, we can figure it out, or we can delay implementation so that we can plan it for the 17-19 biennium. But I refuse to support the ongoing sale of tobacco products, which puts our kids' lives in danger, puts the long-term economic well-being of the state in danger on the back of revenue right now. That is just penny wise and pound foolish, Madam Chair, and I refuse to let the revenue piece be a reason to not pass this bill.
And I would agree with you. I mean, we do know tobacco products have carcinogens in them and they cause cancer. So there's no question about that, but we do have a process, and we are going to send it down. Any other business? So the amendment's adopted. All right, now, there is no opposition to the amendment. All right, now, we will